Welcome to the Mid-South Baseball Report. Join in and listen to some of the best baseball chatter around the Memphis area. Your host, Johnny Ray, talks with the likes of Ed Easley, Jeff Duncan, Andy Cook, as well as other local icons such as Phil Clark, Jeff Hopkins, and 2023 Major League All-Star Brent Rooker.
Let's join Johnny as he talks with today's guest, Erik Schoenrock.
Sitting down once again with Southwest Tennessee Community College head coach Erik Schoenrock, not only to talk about his team's historic 2023 season, but also talking about the future of the program. Erik, welcome to the show once again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
44-16, school record. Did this team exceed your expectations?
Absolutely. I mean, I knew we were going to be a pretty competitive group, and our guys had a lot of confidence in themselves, but 44 wins was something pretty special, and it was a really cool thing to see coming to fruition over a long time. You know, it's been 5 or 6 years to kind of build up to this point, and the group last year was a special group that kind of raised the bar here and really set the standard for things to come, hopefully.
Yeah, that school record was kind of significant to me. I was the head coach in 2004 when we set the school record for 40 wins, and also that team was our only region championship team in school history. I knew that was a goal of yours as well, and watching your team once they showed up here last fall, about this time, they showed up here on campus, and I could just tell that there was a whole lot of maturity about them. There were some kids that had come from championship programs in high school. You had some kids that had transferred in from Division I programs that made an immediate impact, and I just knew as you got started that this team was kind of on a mission. And I want to kind of talk about some of these guys that came through, but the first thing that jumps out is you had your Player of the Year and the Pitcher of the Year in the conference.
Yeah, it was
and
pretty cool.
Those awards normally go to the Walters or the Dyersburgs, the ones that have been there and have just kind of controlled the conference for the last few years. Mm-hmm. Y'all finished, was it fourth?
We have finished third in the regular season and the tournament.
Yeah, so you finished third, but you still walk away with the two biggest awards. So talk about Colton and Tyler.
Yeah. Two special kids. I mean, they're obviously really, really great players for us, but on top of that, they were great teammates. I mean, their teammates voted them as captains going into the season, and they both kind of led in their own ways. Tyler's definitely more vocal, and Colton kind of went about his business quietly and kind of led by example. But obviously both had done tremendous years. Tyler hit over 430, broke our single season school record for RBIs, had 12 home runs, had 15 stolen bases. I mean, he was a very dynamic player for us. He's headed to UAB this fall, and then Colton. Probably the most decorated pitcher in Southwest history in the 53-year, history of Southwest baseball. He has a bunch of single season records now and a lot of career records as well. And
he was dynamic for 2 years.
Yeah, he was. He was 13-2 last year, and over a 2-year stretch, he had 29 starts and had 17 complete games. So anytime we handed the ball to him, we felt awesome. Obviously.
Yeah, I couldn't help but notice. I walked through the locker room the other day and noticed assistant coach Colton Brumley. Tell a little bit about what's happened with that. Kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird situation. I mean, Colton was pitching this summer, getting prepped to go play some independent ball this fall, and had an injury to his arm, and it's going to keep him out for the next 8 or 9 months. And he's going to end up going to play independent ball probably next summer at this point. And once that happened, he reached out to me and asking, if he could be around our team and rehab his arm and kind of just be a part of a team still. But it was his idea. He wanted to come coach with us. So he's going to help coach me help me coach the pitchers this year. He's going to be in the bullpen during game days, getting those guys prepped when they're fixing to come in the game. And with how many young guys we have on our team this fall, it's going to be great for some of those 17, 18, 19-year-old kids to hear from a very mature veteran pitcher with a bunch of school records that's been there, done that. They're going to pay attention to what he has to say, and is going to be a big addition to what we're doing with our staff.
Yeah, those weren't your only two guys that helped 44 wins. Talk about some of the other awards that some of your other players have received.
Yeah, on top of the Conference Player of the Year and Conference Pitch of the Year, those two guys, Brum and Tyler both won All-American as well, which was great to see. Bryce Turner was a freshman for us last year. He was our kind of our DH last year. He caught some games, played a little bit of first base. He was an all-conference guy as a freshman, back with us this fall. But had some guys that also broke some school records. Brady Holloway broke our career home run record here. Tui Cope broke our career stolen base record and single season stolen base record. Anthony Zarlingo broke our walk record offensively. So we had some guys all throughout our lineup that really kind of set the tone for us, and it's gonna hurt, missing those guys this fall, but we've got some guys coming in hopefully that can kind of build on what those guys laid here.
Yeah, talk about your sophomores that's departed. Where have those guys going on? You mentioned Tyler and Colton, but talk about your other sophomores and where they're headed.
Yeah, we had 12 guys signed with 4-year schools for this fall. 5 of those guys being Division I guys, and the other 7, even though they're not going to the Division I route, they're going to like high caliber NAI Division II schools. So our Division I guys were BJ Banyan and Christian Robb, both going to Charleston Southern. Anthony Zarlingo is committed to Miami of Ohio. He's heading up there this fall. And Tyler's going to UAB. Tyler Harrington's going to UAB. Brady Holloway's going to MTSU. And then some of our other guys we have going. JT Wolliver's going to Cumberland. Wes Cully is going to the University of the Cumberlands in Kentucky. Tui Cope's going to Faulkner down in Alabama. R.H. Franklin, our other captain's going to Auburn Montgomery. So we have a bunch of guys moving on to some high caliber schools this fall.
Yeah. Well, you can't dwell on what you had. Now you got to talk about what you got. What do you got coming in this year? First of all, let's talk about your returners, guys that were a big part of your team last year.
Yeah, even though we were a very veteran bunch last year, we still had some freshmen sprinkled in and some pretty big roles that are back for us, for their sophomore year. Bryce Turner, I already talked about him a little bit. He was our DH last year, all-conference kid, hitting right behind Brady in our order. Very, very good offensive player. He's going to be taking over the first base duties for us this fall with Brady's departure. Kind of be the guy over there, and he's still going to catch every now and then. We're expecting big things offensively from him. Peyton Charles, my left-handed pitcher, ended up working his way into our number 3 starter role as a freshman. He's back as a sophomore. I think he'll factor in our starting rotation again. Hayden Collins probably would have been a all-conference type player as a freshman, but he was behind Tyler Harrington at third base last year. He's taken over there. He's also going to get a big jump in what he's doing for us on the mound. He was our closer last year. He's probably going to – we're looking at maybe starting him this year and getting him in the rotation a little bit. Bringing back both of our catchers, Evan Ash from Toronto and Cope Bradford from Lebanon, Tennessee. Both those guys split time as freshmen, got valuable experience catching a good staff, and both of them are back to handle a young staff this year. And then Connor Brinkley was a guy that played a lot of infield, a lot of shortstop for us, switch hitting, big 6'4" kid that played in the Ohio Valley League this summer and got some good experience up there. So hopefully he comes back a different kind of player. But those 6 guys, I think, really kind of jump off the page to me a little bit of who we're looking to kind of lean on a little bit early in this fall with some experience.
Yeah. A quick message from our sponsor, and then we will go right back and talk about the recruiting process after such a successful season. Be sure to check out the Fall Perfect game schedule at USA Stadium by visiting usastadiumtn.com.
Yeah, with the success that you had and that you started building in previous years, did it make recruiting any easier to go in and say, hey, this is what we're doing, this is where our kids are going, mm-hmm. We're having success, come be a part of what we're doing?
Yeah, I mean, the caliber of player we're able to recruit is a lot different right now than it was 5 years ago, and that's a testament to a lot of hard work from a lot of people that have put into this program in the last 5 years. But having the facility out here is a big factor for that. Now having a track record of showing what we do as far as player development works, having the track record of kids enjoying their experience here, the word of mouth gets out there that kids enjoy it when they get here, and I think a lot of things go into it. But yes, like the caliber of what kind of player we're able to bring in for their first semester on campus is significantly different than what we were able to bring in, like I said, 5 years ago. And so Some of the freshmen we're bringing in this fall are going to be very talented for us, and I'm excited to see what they can do for us when they get here.
Yeah. Who are you most looking forward to getting out here on the field in a couple of weeks and finding out more about?
Yeah, I mean, we signed we have 20 new players this fall, so combination. We have a couple transfers coming in, but we also have some freshmen coming in that are highly talented. Logan Luckett is one that jumps off the page to me. He's from Adamsville High School up there in Adamsville, Tennessee. He's going to play second for us. He played shortstop and outfield in high school. Very high motor kid, plays real hard, has a tremendous amount of athleticism. He's 6'2". He's kind of grown in some strength here in the last year or two, and I expect him to be a guy for us right away. Blaine Nunnally is from New Palestine, Indiana. Dual guy. He's going to pitch and play some infield for us. He was a big-time three-sport athlete in high school.
I'm actually familiar with him a little bit just through the travel ball circuit. Blaine, played with EBC here locally, and got to see him and got to know him a little bit, and I think he's going to be a huge addition.
I think so too. He's a high-character kid too. He's nothing but good things to say about him, and his coach said the same thing up in Indiana about him. And then a kid from Iowa we have coming named Ian Dittmer. He's a big, powerful kid, plays some third base, first base, pitches. He's up in the low 90s on the mound. I think he's going to be a good player for us. A switch hitting catcher named Charlie Smith. He's from the Atlanta area. He's going to factor in behind the plate with those two other sophomore catchers, but Charlie can also play some third base and move him around, find a way to get his bat in the lineup. He's going to be a good offensive player for us. And then two transfer pitchers that I'm excited that coming from other junior colleges. Ryan Young is coming from Blinn College over in Texas. He was a starter for him as a freshman, and then just wanted to change of scenery a little bit. And so he's coming this fall. He's already moved into his apartment here, and he's ready to get rolling. And then Jeff too. He's a kid from another kid from Canada, but he was actually at Georgia Highlands last year. Both those two guys are coming in with big expectations for me. I think they have a chance to pitch in some pretty big roles right away for us.
Yeah, you never can beat that experience when you're trying to build a program.
That's right.
So how do you build on what you just accomplished in 2023? You set your goals when you start the season, but how do you continue to build and maintain that level of success?
Yeah, I mean, I think we still have another tier to get to as a program. The last time we won the league was when you were coaching. We're doing a 20-year reunion for those guys this fall. Actually, it's going to be a great day.
Looking forward to that.
It's going to be great. We're going to do it during one of our fall World Series games. But that's kind of the next step for us to start competing for that conference championship. And for us to kind of build on it, we just kind of look at trying to get better each day. I think obviously everybody in the conference, every team, every player that plays in this league has aspirations of winning the league and everything. But for us, we just talk about trying to stay in the day-to-day grind, stay in the present, and get a little bit better each day, and let the on-field product take care of itself by putting in the work. And I think that's a big thing for us, is just trying to stay in the present and try to lock into each day.
Yeah, leadership has a lot to do with that. I know that'll take shape as you begin your fall practice, and the leadership and maturity I think goes a long way.
A show with Erik wouldn't be complete without a little bit of chatter about his dad. Johnny jumps right in with the latest announcement coming out of Schoenrock Sr.'s household this week.
I want to talk about your dad a little bit. He's, of course, finished his 18-year career at Memphis after the 2022 season. Spent a year down at Auburn with Butch Thompson and as a pitching coach there, and then decided you just want to be back home. And I think you got some news about him that's probably public knowledge, but you want to share what's going on with your dad.
Yeah, he just got hired as the athletic director at Carterville High School, so he's back in town. I live in Oakland, about 20 minutes from here, and they live 5 minutes up the road from me, but he's happy back in town working at Carterville. There's a lot of former University of Memphis people over there that he's very comfortable with, and he's excited. He's already hit the ground running a little bit with that job, and he coached for 39 years. He paid his dues there. Obviously, was at a lot of cool places, but I think he's excited about this next chapter and taking on this new challenge, and being in charge of a very, very competitive Carterville High School athletic program.
Well, that athletic program over there, of course, he'll have to kind of delegate his responsibilities a little bit away from the baseball program, and serve everybody. But I think Collierville's very fortunate to have him, and you know, we were talking before we went live that, you know, just how he's always in the middle of he's always working. He never sits still, and I think that's a tremendous place for him, and know that that school is going to benefit him tremendously.
Absolutely. I mean, him and my mom talked about retirement stuff with him, but I don't think he ever knows how to be retired. So I'm excited to see how that unfolds, and I'm excited to go check out some of the teams he's kind of overseeing this fall. So it's going to be a cool experience for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see you guys get started here in the next week or so, and look forward to another great season of Saluki baseball. And just let's make it happen again.
Absolutely, let's do it. Thanks, Johnny.
Thanks for joining us on the Mid-South Baseball Report. This show is sponsored by USA Stadium. We look forward to seeing you at the stadium this fall.